Hello and welcome to the Daily Reset for Success show. My name is Marian LaSalle, and today I have two wonderful guest hosts, Jessica Yarborough and Lady Lou. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello. We're so glad to be here. We're glad you're there too. Thank you, Marian.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a pleasure to be here. I get to not only hang out with some really cool people, but I also get to communicate and contact you all. And this is what it's all about, especially right now. The connections that we make, it can make or break a person in business, personally. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing or what's going on in your world. The connections, to me, are one of the most important things. And I love, let's face it, I'm a party gal. I love parties. You know, give me a birthday party or a potluck. I'm there. And so I've had to take everything online. So all my classes, everything I do is now online. And so today in our daily reset, we're going to be talking with Jessica about how we're going to see our value increase, even if we have to lower our prices. That's big, right? We're in a crisis right now. People are being laid off. Maybe they can't afford the prices that you want to charge or that you feel your value is at right now. So we're gonna think outside the box, and we're going to increase our value to the world, all over the world, online. So, Lady Lou, how are you today?
I am terrific. The sun is shining. It's in the 70s. It's not hot today. And we in Texas love our cool weather.
Yeah, it doesn't
Everything's
happen very
perfect.
often. Good, good. I'm glad. One day last week, I was talking to Lady Lou on the phone, and she goes, "Marian, do you hear that?" And I said, "What?" She says, "I think I hear a cow." Sure enough, there was a cow in her yard. So you know
Oh
where
my
she
goodness.
lives. She's deep in the heart of Texas. That's right. And Jessica, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Good. Okay, well, let's start off right away and tell us a little bit about yourself, Jessica, and how you're going to help us reset our lives today.
Sure. Well, I'm a business strategist and growth expert for entrepreneurs. So I work with all kinds of coaches, consultants, healers, relationship leadership experts, and I help them to build their credibility online and to build an expert business where they can attract clients using amazing platforms such as LinkedIn, Facebook, and other social media.
Oh, fantastic. So you're an online gal anyway.
I'm an online gal. It's a great time to be an online gal.
It is.
It's true. Now, let's consider that a lot of people worked for corporate America last week, and all of a sudden they're faced with, okay, I've been laid off. Let me go buy a laptop and see what I can do online. What do you think? What would you say to somebody like that?
Well, there's a lot of different opportunities. I mean, anyone can make money online. You just have to find out like what is your passion. You can do affiliate marketing, you can do e-commerce, you can do coaching and consulting. If you have come from the corporate world and you have a passion for being of service and helping others, I'm a big fan of translating those skills into a consulting business. So whether you're consulting and helping people with your knowledge, your skills, your time, or whether you're actually doing it for them, doing like a done for you service, there's lots of opportunity to use those same skills that you used in your job now in the entrepreneurial world.
And Jessica, people can hire you as a coach. Is that true?
They do. I focus on people with established businesses. I've certainly had many people that are brand new into the coaching or consulting world, but most of my clients are people that are established and they're ready to scale up. So they come to me when they've got that baseline and they're ready to take it to the next level to grow to 250,000, 500,000 to seven figures.
Wow. Okay. All right. So if somebody's coming straight out of corporate America and they're trying to figure out a way, you would not be the first step. You would not be the first person they would talk to.
Correct.
Or could you refer them to somebody?
What I would recommend doing is following me on LinkedIn and YouTube and consuming my free content. This is where I direct people. But as far as a first step for hiring a coach, typically it's going to be a different learning curve for someone that's brand new than what I teach, which is geared more towards helping you scale up. Certainly I can help them, but there are many, many coaches out there who focus on brand new businesses. And I prefer to focus on, again, the scaling up portion. That's my real passion. Regardless, I'm putting out content daily that can help benefit you no matter what stage of business you're in.
Oh, that's fantastic. So I've been in business for 30 years. I didn't always work from home, but I could have. And so that might be something that you might think about as you're going about your business. How can you adjust? So Jessica, let's say someone like me who's been in the IT industry for 30 years, all of a sudden finds that they have to work from home. Is that something you can help them with?
Sure. I mean, you can absolutely pivot. It just depends on how you use your service. So can you get it online? Number one, can you get rid of the in-person need? Sure. I mean, if we're talking about IT broadly, and you're going in there and kind of setting up people's back-end systems, you can certainly do that virtually. Of course, we know that with some consulting, sometimes you need to get in and kind of dig into their business. And of course, in person is always great, but most of my businesses run virtually. I do a handful of events every year. So you can take it on. You can create education programs. You can meet virtually via Zoom. There's plenty of opportunities to do it online. I think the in-person is a dated model. And so more and more people are now going to be forced to embrace like, hey, let's just do it online.
I agree. Lady Lou, what do you think?
Well, I'm sorry I did not hear the entire thing, so I'll bow out.
Oh, okay.
I'm having trouble with my earphones.
Okay. I understand. All right. So it's just you and me. All right. We'll see you again real soon, Lady Lou.
Thank you.
All right. So let's figure out what you can do to help people right now who are flipping out. Let's face it. They have been in business for quite some time, but like you said, they need to pivot. What can we do to help them? Do you have a mastermind? Do you have a group that they can join? How does it work if they work with you?
Sure. I just launched a program called Cash Injection, and that's really about helping entrepreneurs get quick wins, a lump sum of cash, so to speak, to tie them over for the next 30, 60, 90 days. Regardless of whether you're in that or not, I can share some tips. Definitely right now, it's going to require you to be flexible, to pivot your offers. Some of my programs are very, very high ticket, and I pivoted and made this offer to help people in need. So think about what you already do, and maybe you have a longer term engagement or package that now you can reduce that down to something more short term that allows people to get a quick win, but doesn't require a huge financial commitment or time commitment. So that's one thing. Number two, you need to change your messaging around what you're offering. People want confidence, they want certainty, they want security, they want to feel connected, they want that sense of community like you were talking about. So how can you pivot your messaging and your offers to meet the needs of where people are at right now?
Okay, I can totally understand how you're thinking. And if you're one of my sayings, I used to have it as my tagline on LinkedIn, do what you do best and farm out the rest. Do you believe that that's the case, that most people should do what they do best and then let somebody else handle everything else, like the technology?
Absolutely. And that really also depends on where they're at. I mean, if you are just starting out and you don't have a lot of extra resources, you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and learn what you can and do what you can do until the point where you have some extra cash flow. Then you need to be strategic about how you invest that. A lot of entrepreneurs are not tech savvy. And so I recommend outsourcing the tech and kind of the social media management. Those are good things to outsource. And you, as the entrepreneur, keeping your sales internal, keeping your writing internal. Those are things that entrepreneurs often want to outsource, but it's just not a good time for them to do it at very, very early stages.
Yeah, one of the things that I found early on for myself was I wasted a lot of time trying to do everything myself. And I feel like if I could do it again, I would find the money. I would borrow it. I'd find it, because I wasted years trying to do everything myself, learning how to do my own website, learning how to do my own graphics, learning how to do my own social media. I mean, literally, I did everything all by myself, trained myself on everything. And although that's great now, I can do everything now.
Right.
It slowed me down. So how do you figure out when's the best time to say, I just need to borrow the money and get this done? If I'm going to build my business and I need to do it, how do you figure out when's the best time?
Immediately. I mean, if people could just go in with the mindset that what they're putting into their businesses is an investment, and that it's going to have a return if they play the long game and treat it as a business, not as a hobby, then they're going to have so much greater success much faster. So a lot of people, they mess around for years, just kind of trying to play at business or figure things out on their own, like you're talking about. And all it does is cost them a lot of time, versus saying, you know what, I'm going to apply for a small business loan. I'm going to use these resources that I've been saving up, and I'm going to pour this into my business. I'm going to invest whatever it is, 20, 40, 50, $100,000. And I'm going to see this all the way through to make sure that I get a return. And I'm going to use this money to build a foundation of my business that's going to allow me to bring in more and continue to scale up. If people had that mindset, they would reach higher and levels of success much, much faster than the way that most people go about doing things.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And what do you feel, or how do you feel about partnerships?
Okay.
Gotcha.
Anybody who's been in business any amount of time, I'm sure, has gone down the road of partnerships, which can, be good, and it can be terrible for you. I am very, very cautious when it comes to partnerships. I executed on before, and what I found oftentimes is people didn't pull their weight. For example, I ended up doing more than you get down the road and you find out something about that person you didn't know that's a liability. So there's all kinds of things. I would say proceed with caution when it comes to any kind of partnership. Today, I have work of people that I've worked with, that I bring in to help train my own clients. And so I use discernment when it comes to partnerships or referrals. I want to make sure that I know the person, that I've seen their work, that they're credible before I recommend them or introduce them to my clients or my sphere of influence. And so that's been my approach. Certainly there are opportunities, that can expand with partnership, but again, you've been warned, proceed with caution and get to know people and make sure that you vet them before recommending them to others, because it's your reputation on the line as well.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I've had a few partners in the past, and a couple worked out and a couple didn't.
Very common.
Yeah, I'm still friends with them all, so I guess that's a pretty good deal. All right, so what else do you have that you want to help entrepreneurs and small business owners with today?
I would definitely look at the amazing resources that are coming out that are available to help individuals and small businesses. I'm not a financial advisor, so you'll need to defer to financial planners and accountants, legal professionals to get all the details. But we know that there's incredible resources right now being released. The Trump administration has released the CARES Act. So there are funds available in the terms of grants, forgivable loans to cover payroll expenses and rent and mortgages. There are small business loans available at a very, very low percentage rate with, long terms, 30-year terms. So right now, whether that's grant money or forgivable loan or even a loan to hold you in the interim, there is tremendous opportunity and resources for existing small businesses to help bridge the gap between now and when our economy begins to stabilize.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I saw the CARE, I guess it's CARE Act, And a friend of mine who is bringing in all the information that she can to help business owners through this crisis sent it to me and said, Marion, you need to sign up for this right away. And so I thought, oh, I don't need another loan. I mean, good grief.
Right.
But when I read the fine print and realized I don't have to pay it back, I'm like, well, why call it a loan then if I don't have to pay it back? I immediately, and I did it all on my phone. Sure. I applied, and it took me less than 8 minutes to apply. And it said I'd have the check in days. So if you are a small business owner, you need to look into that. And I'll tell you what, I will put the link down in the description down below in YouTube, Facebook, and also on the podcast description, so that you can apply for this as well. People are like, I don't believe it. You're going to have to pay that back. And I'm like, what can I say? They're being kind of generous right now because they don't want businesses to fail. Our government is going to do worse if we fail. Okay. They know that. Absolutely. They've got to help us now. So.
Well, they're helping. And so if you think about it from the viewpoint of Trump extended the quarantine for another month, which means more pressure for small businesses that rely on, brick and mortar foot traffic that are now unable to open. At the same time, he released the stimulus package, which gives money to business owners in need so that they can keep their employees. If they can keep their employees, they keep the business running, therefore money cycling through the economy. So it's going to help a lot of people. And I'm curious, Marion, so for yours, did you apply for the $10,000 grant forgivable loan?
Yes.
One? Which one did you apply for? Okay, awesome. Yes. So see, there's so many resources out there. And again, I mean, there's 4 different ones. There's also one for New York City alone. So if you want to check those resources, now's a great time to get the help that you need and bridge the gap between now and the next 30, 60, 90 days, however long this crisis lasts.
Since you're used to working with entrepreneurs who have already considered, made it, and they just want to make it even more, are most of them, are they working from home, or had they been working from home?
Many people have an online component. Now, listen, I have plenty of peers who have an event-based model that are taking a huge hit.
Oh, what are they doing?
Yeah,
events online, right?
Yeah, they're trying to bring it all online. In fact, one of my clients is a specialist in events. That's what she does. And so she's working diligently to put together an offer to help people take the same revenue kind of model online. Because if you can imagine, if you're doing 30, 40 events a year, and that's your primary source of income, you now have to figure out, how do I create that same experience online with the same revenue opportunities? So that's speakers and people with an event-based model absolutely have to pivot to online. Many people, like especially my clients, already have an online business model. This is what we teach. So they're actually primed for success already.
Wow, good one for you, right? You were thinking ahead.
Yeah, it's a great time. And there's a myth right now that people aren't spending money. So I do share this with my audience. People are spending money. They're investing in things that are a must-have, not a nice-to-have. And if you can position your products and services as a must-have, then you can make sales. And I prove this with my own offers and my clients who have been going through some of my strategies to navigate this current economic climate. So just know that you have to shift and pivot during these times, that people are going to spend money. Now with the stimulus pack coming out, there's going to be less stress for business owners to cover the need. They're going to be able to keep going, therefore keep investing in your products and services.
Yeah. I actually talked to a friend/client about what she could offer, and she is primed for offering things that help people grow plants that they can eat. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I was talking to her about the affiliate programs like you're talking about. There's all kinds of affiliate programs to help people build, what are those things called? The fish are on the bottom and the lettuce is on the top.
Yes. The aqua, what is it?
Hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said, that would be like a win-win right now. She'd probably make lots of sales if she just jumped on that, because even me, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I need to start, a little garden in the back here. So I don't want to go to the grocery store to buy lettuce.
Yeah, my daughter and I planted some cherry tomatoes and stuff this weekend. So there's plenty of opportunities. What we're going to see is an emergence of new industries, and we're going to see industries that maybe weren't booming before suddenly surge. So there's going to be so many great things that are going to come out of this experience. I always like to look for the silver lining. What's really cool is that we live in America, which is, the land where you can create anything. We are very entrepreneurial minded. We have a resilience to our people and our spirit that I just haven't found anywhere in the world. Like, it's why people hire me in Europe and Australia. They want to, in Canada, they want to do business with Americans because of the way that we think. And so we're going to see some incredible things come out of this current crisis. And if you can think outside the box, if you can be a beacon of hope and of light and of positivity, if you can pivot and innovate to meet people with what they need, whether that's home and garden or health and wellness or business, you're going to thrive in this environment, and we're going to come out the other side of this. I truly believe that.
I do too. I really do believe that. I think it's an opportunity to see things differently than what we've been led to believe. Now, I'm probably a lot older than you are, Jessica. However, I think every age goes through certain things. Like my parents went through depression and and I went through, here's everything you could possibly ever want. Why should you, work for a living? Why should you go to college? It doesn't matter. You've got everything. Don't worry. And there was no push to do anything. And so it was the only thing I ever listened to my parents about. Don't worry, honey, you're going to get married. You're going to have children. Your husband will take care of you. That was what they taught me.
Wow.
It's totally different now. It's like everybody wants to do their own thing. Nobody wants to work for a corporation anymore. They want to do their own. They want to survive on their own gumption. And I think this is the perfect time for people to think differently than we have in the past.
Absolutely.
We're forced to.
Yes. Now's the time.
So it's a good thing. See, I know we're going to go through some rough stuff. I'm not saying it's all peaches and cream for everybody, but I'm just saying I think this is forcing us to think differently, which we needed to do.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Well, I've been really enjoying our conversation. I'm wondering, you have a giveaway that you want to talk about.
Sure, absolutely. So for those of you that are interested in how do I sell high-end services, how do I close clients over the phone, then watch my masterclass, and I'm going to break down my sales strategy, both on how to attract high-paying clients and how to close them over the phone.
Wow. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So, it's the same framework that I'm teaching that has literally generated collectively 7 figures for myself and my clients. And it's an amazing process that really breaks through, number 1, the mindset around high-end sales. Number 2, how to structure your sales conversation. And then number 3, what's the process for attracting those high quality leads into your pipeline so that you can get them on the phone.
Wow. Can you give us an example of somebody that took your classes or hired you as a coach and they turned things around?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had clients come to me that were, kind of stuck at the $350,000 mark. We were able to streamline their offerings. And one of my clients did $250,000 in just 2 weeks. That's one example. Which was, almost, 2/3 of what her income was the previous year. I had another client who came for me out of the corporate world, and we grew his consulting practice from 0 to $500,000 in 10 months. So lots of opportunities for growth and really amazing case studies. What I teach is around high-end sales. It's not around the course and our membership model. There's plenty of people out there who can give you insight on that. Mine is really around how do you create a high quality audience? How do you work with fewer people, but on a more deeper level? And how do you charge a premium price for what you do?
We all need that particular advice on how to increase our, our rate, because I don't know why other people can see our value for some reason a lot better than we can see our own. I've been told that many, many times. Marion, you just don't charge enough, And so I don't know what it is. You just don't see your value like other people can. So when they hire you, you're going to go, look, right? You're going to crack that whip.
I am going to crack the whip, and it's one of the first things I do. And I see it it's more apparent in women. Most of the women I work with men and women, but I see this problem a lot more with women. My clients are typically ages 35 to 55. And this is a core wound around self-worth. Doesn't matter the accolades, doesn't matter the experience, the education, the results. There is a disconnect between the price that they charge and the value they bring. So what I do is I help them bring them into alignment. I help them create a congruent pricing model. And I really hold the mirror up to show them how freaking amazing they are so that they can own their value. I help them put together a program and an offer that allows them to step into that confidently, go out there and charge more.
You really lit up when you talked about that. I can tell it's a passion of yours to help people increase their value. I can tell it's really, really there. You just lit up like a light bulb. Ooh, yeah.
I love to see it. I love to see people stay. A lot of people are playing small, and I went through this journey as well. So, for me to be able to help people step into their power is really, really incredible.
Yeah. Before we go, do you have any advice on how to get through? Do we pay for ads on Facebook, LinkedIn? What's the best way to have your audience see you
right now?
Yep.
In this current climate, there's a lot of mixed advice going around. I've heard people say, listen, right now is the time to do ads. They're super cheap because everybody pulled out. It is my belief that ads should be used to scale a business. So if you have an offer that converts, sure, you can pour money into ads. If you are trying to figure this out, then the things that I recommend you focus on is building connections, authentic connections with your ideal client, creating content that supports your expertise and builds credibility, and moving them to a conversation where you can sell them your services. It doesn't require any investment of money. What it does require is an investment of your time. It's called earning their attention. People are going to know, like, and trust you when you do this more than a paid advertisement. We are bombarded with ads, and this is the fastest path to you getting on the phone with your ideal clients, where you can then
bingo. Did y'all hear that? You gotta get them on the phone.
Yes.
Okay. I know people hate the phone. I don't know why. And I keep trying to tell them that's who's making money, is the people who are willing to pick up the phone.
Absolutely. And you know what? Even this,
you heard it from Jessica.
You heard it from me. As busy and successful as I am, I still get on the phone with people. Because for many, many reasons. Obviously, it's an opportunity for me to listen to the other person, and if they feel like there's a good fit, for me to make them an offer. But beyond that, I'm getting data, I'm getting information, I'm hearing the words that they're using when they tell me their struggles. And the more I understand what they're going through, the better my messaging is, the better my content is. It's why people book calls with me and say, Jessica, I feel like you're tapping my phone. What's going on? You're literally like writing exactly what I'm thinking. It's what I just was discussing with my partner over dinner last night. Like, you've cracked the code on content and relevancy. Teach me what you know. And so don't be afraid of the phone. Quit trying to sell off a sales page all the time. No amount of automation is ever going to take the place of a powerful conversation. People want it. They want connection. Pick up the phone.
You have a brand new fan.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. The half hour flew by as usual. We never have enough time to get really into it. So we'll have to have you back. See? All right. So
Great.
thank you for your offer. If you are listening to this on a podcast, don't worry. Down in the description below, you're going to see how you can get Jessica's wonderful. It's a free masterclass on how to easily close high-paying clients over the phone. Did you hear that, people? All right, the phone. That's where it is. I appreciate you, Jessica. It was nice meeting you. I hope you will come back.
I will. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. This is the Daily Reset for Success show. We're here almost every day, Monday through Friday, and sometimes on Saturday. So we'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.
Bye.